Eric and I had been married for like 6 or 7 months when my father-in-law announced he was running for president. And it was just crazy.
And your reaction and Eric's reaction was what?
Well, it's kind of funny. We all sat down as a family and he told us that he wanted to do this and sort of said, listen, it's not just going to be me, it's all of us, because that's what happens. And I need you guys to know that and make sure everybody's okay with that. We're like, yeah, that's fun. That's great.
Let's go.
How bad could it be?
Oh my God.
And so I think initially, I don't really know that we knew what to expect, because nothing really can prepare you for anything like this, obviously. And I was excited for him, and I was excited to see what would happen. And then pretty much immediately, he was attacked. And by that, I felt like we were all attacked. And it was just like a sudden punch right in the face. And it was a lot, honestly. The first couple months, the first year of it was a lot. I worked still at Inside Edition, and they're reporting on all these things. And there I am, watching them put together stories about my family. And I'm just like, it was crazy. There was a lot to...
What did you say? Or I assume you didn't stay quiet the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, if they had a story they were running, it felt like they were... And I think this goes for all mainstream media, trying to find the craziest looking clip of Donald Trump to put up there. And I'm like, I know we have a better clip
photos
than that.
I beg them to take the crazy photos out, much less Donald Trump.
Oh, the ones that, believe me, it's so funny to see the conservative outlets and then the liberal outlets. All the liberal outlets, any way they possibly can, they pick the photo where I'm mid-sentence where my face looks crazy. I'm like, thanks, that's very nice.
Taking a bite of something.
Yeah. Yeah. There was one, somebody got me when I was 7 months pregnant, bending over to pick up after my dogs in Central Park. And that photo was the top of a story, if you can imagine that. But I digress.
Kidding me.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
They're
nice,
sick.
good stuff. They only want photos of you when you're horrific looking, but
of course.
But yeah, it was very challenging to be there and witness all of that, and then to have this moment where I was like, well, wait a minute, I was at this event and I know exactly what was said. Why is it being presented like this? And there was just such a disconnect there. And I said, God, I know what this is. They're just trying to write a story, and this is every outlet out there. Everybody wants to kind of slant things in their direction. And it was really challenging for me. So when my father-in-law asked me essentially if I would go out on the campaign trail, I kind of in some ways was relieved, because it was kind of nice to get away from that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting, yeah. So. Again, you go back to the protective parent, but then protective daughter-in-law, protective son. And when you see, it's one thing to crush somebody for their policies, their decision-making in office, or something, okay, maybe it was misspeaking during a debate, but it's another thing to go so personal. How do you guys handle the personal attacks on your entire family?
It's not easy, and again, nothing can prepare you for that, but I think you kind of, in some ways, develop a bit of a callous to all of it. And I say this all the time, but I feel like in some crazy way, we have all, and especially my father-in-law, has really been prepared for right now, for all that he has against him, because they've been attacking this man and really our whole family since the day he came down the escalator right downstairs here in Trump Tower and announced he was running for president. And
in 2015.
In 2015. Yeah. The hits have not stopped coming for him, for all of us. And so I think in a lot of ways you learn to tune those things out. And I think you realize that the people who know you are the only, and truly know you, are the ones whose opinions matter the most. And it's never easy to see something negative, nasty, or erroneous written about yourself or discussed about you. But I know who I am. Eric knows who he is. We know we're good people. We know the things we fight for are meaningful and that they are to better this country, not make it worse. And so I think you have to, just really be solid in your foundation of those things. And I can tell you, we sleep well at night, and we wake up every day knowing that what we're doing is the right thing and that history will reflect kindly on us.
And then recently, here in New York, with all of the drama and with the legal stuff. I don't know how nicely to say that.
That's about as nice as you could say
I'm
it.
trying, Lara.
Yeah, that's as nice as we can
Yeah.